Hi everyone, we are back with another growing update. It is just me today. Matt is inside. He's not actually feeling very well. So if you would send your prayers, we would greatly appreciate it. But we're going to sneak in the greenhouse. It's kind of the heat of the afternoon. So you can see there's lots of green in here, but it is hot, hot, hot. So I'm not going to be in here too long. So what's left in the greenhouse is doing well. Carrots seem to be doing really well, but we are having to water them heavy. They were watered maybe like 4 hours ago, and as you can see, they're still just kind of like matted down. But they seem to be doing well. They're green. And the tomatoes in here surprisingly are doing well despite having all that coverage from the carrots. We've got them all clipped up now around the outside, so they'll be growing up in shading. We do need to get the shade cloth on here, just haven't gotten to it. I know someone mentioned I really want to get some more spinach growing. Honestly, it's because we just are out of spinach, and I hate not having those greens. Since last week, I don't think I showed you, I pulled pretty much everything out of here. So other than the stuff we had started on this end, that end that had our spinach, I kept some for seed. The, what else was in here? Mustard and arugula that were in here. We were using those for our eggs and our greens in the morning. I pulled it all because we had aphids. We had them so bad, and it was just taking so much effort to clean everything. So everything got pulled out, fed to the chickens. I watered the dirt really heavy, which actually seemed to take care of most of the aphids. And then I did spray it down with like some soapy water, just in case I missed some. And that seems to be doing well. I do want to get some greens planted in here because I'm missing our greens for our eggs. We still have spinach in our freezer, so I know. But I'm hoping if I get the shade cloth on here, I can get something planted back here. Lots of herbs out here need some harvesting. I still have to set up my herb rack, and they're just looking good, Elderberry, looking good. Still in the pots, but looking good. Onions are doing so well. The kids and I came through here and weeded, and that seems to be helping a lot. We also have that just dill popping up everywhere, some over here, some even back here in the sidewalk behind the rhubarb. So far nobody has picked my second year onions, and they are starting to get bulbs on the top. So we'll be getting some flowers and hopefully some seed from them really soon. Not planted by me, but the mullein growing on the outside of the greenhouse just started forming its flower tops. And so the flowers are all just starting to open up. So I'm guessing by next week I will be harvesting that. I do want to make kind of some salves, kind of like some Vicks type thing. The zucchini are doing well. I haven't been up here to weed, so as you can see, it's pretty full of grass and things. But one thing I love about zucchini is they are super hardy and just do well regardless of that. The kids haven't had any cucamelon luck lately. Their one vine that came up out of, I think, 10 or 20 plants is doing really well. Their snap peas they harvested this week. I think every kid and myself were able to try. They were like a sweet pea. They were supposed to be pink, and they definitely were green, but I'm not sure if we just didn't wait long enough, or maybe we waited too long and missed the pink stage. But they tasted really good. Not sure what's going on with our comfrey, but the last few weeks we noticed it looks hardy, but it's not really growing or getting any bigger. So we're wondering if our comfrey itself needs fertilizer, which is kind of funny. But we might just kind of chop those off, feed it back to it, and maybe we can get it going. Peach trees look a little sad from the heat, but they're doing all right. And the pear. The flowers on the outside of the garden are not quite flowers yet, but they're looking good. These onions seem to be doing the very best that we have in this flower bed here, and I think they just get the right amount of everything. So they're getting some sun, they're getting some water when it rains, and they also are getting some shade from the raspberries, the strawberries, just the things in the garden. So it just seems like they are getting the exact amounts of what they need. So as we walk in our garden, the cucumbers are doing so well. I know Matt mentioned that he has seen a cucumber beetle or two on these plants and taking care of it, but we really haven't been seeing very much, which is great. Our cabbage is forming heads. I'm so excited. And we have been in here picking cabbage worms off of them, but really there hasn't been too much damage as of now. Broccoli, cauliflower, no heads forming yet, but it looks pretty good. And then we have just been picking and picking on this lettuce. It looks kind of sad right now. It's starting to get like brown around the edges where it's just too hot for it, but we love our salads, so as long as we could be eating some greens, it's great. And all these volunteer plants this year, just outrageous. Look at this tomato. This is in this dill I planted. There's 2 of them there. And then there's some here kind of in the cabbage. So if it seems like we've got that stuff planted really close together and whatnot, it's because we didn't plant it there. It just came up. Yeah, some of these volunteers even have flowers on them. So kind of crazy. The lettuce over here, we haven't been picking too much off of it, a little bit. Just pretty much as soon as a spot, like you can tell it's going to bolt if we don't pick it, that's what we end up picking. Kids have been in the strawberries every day, picking what they can. Can you tell I pruned these raspberries out? Because I can't. They're trying to take over the strawberries. I need to come back out here and do that again. And then our garlic, I think we've gotten all the scapes off of it. If there's any out here, it's certainly by, oh, I see 2. It's certainly by mistake. Just everywhere. I think I need to run probably our last batch of garlic scapes in the dehydrator today, and that should be good. I'm sure I've probably missed some, but it's just funny, every time I come out here I still find a couple more that I missed. So the beans aren't flowering yet, but don't they look beautiful? I think we're going to be having some bush green beans here very soon. So not only our tame raspberries, but the wild blackberries are almost ready. And you guys, I didn't come out here yet today. I was out here yesterday and these were bright red. And I asked the kids if there were any blackberries in the back of the garden. I don't think they were looking in the right spot because it looks like a blackberry to me. Oh, the memories, they flood back. Oh, so all these blackberries in the back of the garden are starting to be ready to pick. I told the kids they'd be ready today. So exciting. Little ones are taking a nap right now, but when they get up, I'll have to tell them they have to go peek out back here before I eat them all. Peppers are doing really well, all coming up. The ones closer to the back of the garden are smaller. The ones farther in the garden are larger, so I don't know what that's about. And it seems to be that way with the bell peppers and the hot peppers we planted. I came through this week and I clipped up pretty much all of our tomato plants just to kind of keep them growing up. Now, I had planned on not doing too much pruning this year, but since some of these are really close together, like way too close for comfort, I'm going to have to do a heavy pruning, at least on this side of the trellis here. And I've clipped off some of the bottom branches already if I've noticed any signs of kind of damage on them, and gotten rid of those. But I think it's something I'm going to have to be really on top of this year, at least for these ones that are planted thick. Now, we have flowers on quite a few of these plants, different varieties. At first it was just those cherry tomatoes, but I haven't seen any tomatoes yet. But I could be proven wrong here. No, I'm not really seeing anything. Back of our garden, the kohlrabi, the celery, the things back there are doing really well. We don't have anything quite ready to harvest. Still just strawberries, garlic scapes, and now it looks like the wild blackberries are ready. And I think the raspberries will be right behind them. I think I spotted. Yes, I did. Another one. Look at that. Doesn't matter how many times I think I got them all. I keep finding more. This giant sunflower that came up is just so fun, isn't it? I did leave the other ones that are in the middle of the garlic. I did debate a few times on pulling them, but at this point. So I know in last week's kind of video where we were watering, we showed you how the pumpkins and the melons are doing, so I'm not gonna head way over there, but I have to show you the apple tree. Because look at this. These apples just look wonderful. Like, I'm really tempted to come out here. I know some people like bag each individual apple so it doesn't get damaged. I'm really tempted to do that. But I'm also really want to learn, look at these little things. I really want to learn how to kind of naturally more care for things, but kind of just coincides with the way the world is. Does that make sense? Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and glad you got to see me again. Bye!